Yeah, well, I'm Richard Brent. I'm the director here of the Big House Museum, and we're very proud of the museum here. Obviously, this is where the Allman Brothers lived from 1970 to 73, and it was basically headquarters for the original band, if you will. So we're standing in the old kitchen right here. Just behind me is where Dickie wrote Blue Sky Ramblin' Man at about 3:30 in the morning, and so he wrote Blue Sky here as well, and Midnight Rider was written here, and Please Go Home was written here, Hot Atlanta was worked up here. A lot of great songs were written here in the old Big House. So.
And you mentioned Ramblin' Man. Les Dudek was on that album, was he not?
Les was on that album. He was
on that song, I mean.
He was on Ramblin' Man. He was also on Jessica as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Les, he was kind of was hanging around and was jamming with the guys and stuff, and like I said, he was on Ramblin' Man and he was on Jessica, and Les has been here. He was here several years ago. Max got to play the Ramblin' Man guitar, that's what he calls it, but his gold top, and that was a lot of fun. But it was actually around the corner. There's a picture of Les jamming with J-Mo. So we got Les featured in the museum as well.
And Warren Haynes, Government Mule, they did their first album here, is that correct?
Yeah, they came here when Haynes and Woody decided to take a break from the Allman Brothers. They wanted to do something a little bit heavier, a little more grit, kind of like a Led Zeppelin-ish kind of thing, a power trio. And so they came here for 10 days and stayed here when Kirk West was living here. And Kirk was he was called the tour mystic, but he was just one of the road managers and the liaison, if you will, between the fans and the band, basically. And but he was living here, and Haynes and Woody and Matt Apps came here, stayed for 10 days, wrote the first batch of mule tunes, and started gigging right downtown.
So have you met, I know he's passed now, but Brian Farmer?
Oh yeah. Farmer, well, I was with Farmer 4 days before he passed. We were in Athens, Georgia, and ironically enough, the show poster from that show was a giant ice cream cone, and we were laughing because he, Warren, and myself and share a love of ice cream, and he was recently told that he needed to lay off the ice cream, and then it was just kind of, I was laughing about the show poster being an ice cream cone. We miss Farmer greatly. He was a great guy, hilarious.
So what can you tell me about Derek Trucks?
What is there to say about Derek? He's great. he's his own animal, man. I mean, he's got all the goods. I mean, he's his own. Out of all the guitar players in the world, he sets himself apart. He's just so unique in what he does, and his sound, and his style, and his feel, and he's just amazing. And he's a great young man. I mean, he's just extremely nice, well grounded, if you will. Understands, the history. He's a great steward for this type of music, or just music in general. He's just a great person. I mean, he's he's a good guy.
And what about Marcus King? Can you tell me something about Marcus King?
Yeah, Marcus is like the up-and-coming rock star, I guess, or I don't know, guitar hero even. I've heard that around some. Marcus is phenomenal, man. He's he's one of the ones that we're all looking for to carry the torch. Today's world is. I was doing an interview a while back, and we were talking about the lack of guitar heroes in the world, and actually I brought up Marcus King in that interview. So I was like, hey, this could be, most people now, you think about them, you might want Slash, not too many people, even though Derek Trucks and Warren Haynes are to us, but on a global level, if you walked up to somebody in, I don't know, Germany and just said, hey, who's your guitar hero? They'd probably say Slash, just because he's an iconic figure in music. But Marcus is right there. He's up and coming. He's got all the chops. He's got the feel, the soul, and a unique voice. One of the most unique voices out in music today. And not to mention he can play the shit out of a guitar.
So I'm from Canada, and I've started to watch what's going on in the music scene down here. And there's this guitar player I came across, Heather Gillis. Have you heard of her?
Yeah. Heather's been here a bunch. We've known Heather for years now, and she's great. Yeah, she's a talented young lady and does her thing. I think she was in town just a few weeks ago.
So she kind of disappeared for a while, didn't she? Or did she go back to school, or do you know?
Well, she lives up in Nashville. You know, I know she was doing a bunch of different things, and you know, that's kind of the thing with music these days. You're always just trying to find your way, and that might mean, you know, stopping what you're doing and playing bass in another band for a while, or putting down the guitar to play bass in your own band, or whatever it may be, and or even pedal steel, all kinds of things. And so I think she was just kind of venturing that. She's just trying to find her way in her voice, you know. And but she has all the talent in the world, and I have no doubt that you'll hear a lot more out of her.
So to finish this off, what can you tell me about the Allman Brothers of this house, or what should people know that is not a common thing about the brothers or just the house here?
Well, I mean, this was their home, you know. I mean, earlier I referred to it as, you know, the headquarters, but I mean, it truly was a home. I mean, the band was on the road 300 days out of the year, you know, 69 and 70 and all that. And so it was the ladies and the children here, you know. And when the guys got here, I mean, they decompress and wouldn't want to do anything for 2 weeks. They would just enjoy being here. You know, every Sunday they'd get together and have family suppers out in the yard, and so it was always treated as a family thing. And so it was much more than just, you know, people have you know, back in the 60s and 70s, rock and roll was quite wild, and then, you know, the brothers had their stories too of that, but I mean, but they had another side to them that was quite normal and grounded, and yeah, so that's kind of was a side of them that people rarely think about, you know, and that the wives and the children had just as much to do with this than the band members themselves, you know. So it's you know, it truly is brothers and sisters, you know. It's not just one person or two people or, you know, whatever. It's a bigger picture than that, you know.
Well, I think you're pretty amazing, man. What can you tell me about yourself?
It's like I tell everybody, I'm the luckiest guy on earth. That's what I am. So I get to meet amazing people, and you know, get to have amazing experiences and unique experiences, and so yeah, I'm truly blessed, and I don't take any of it for granted, and I enjoy coming to work every day.
Oh man, I love it. I appreciate it so much.
You got it, man.
Thank you.